Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode, Matt with Irlanne in the Automotive Truth, where we talk about the automotive industry. Whether you're working in the automotive industry, you want to shop in the automotive industry, get your car serviced, whatever, we're looking to reach out and help people. I'm Matt Pollard.
I'm Irlanne Pollard.
And this is Matt with Irlanne in the Automotive Truth. Let's get into this.
Okay.
Where do you want to start? Let's start with the beginnings, how we got in the automotive industry. You want to go first?
Ladies first.
Ladies first, always.
So I started in the automotive industry about 23 years ago. I didn't know anything about vehicles. I didn't know anything about repairs, and I didn't know anything about pretty much anything in the automotive business. I went to some schooling after I gotten my GED for customer service and office skills and typing and proper phone etiquette. And I got my first job at a Sabre Dodge in Stanford, little small shop where I was a service secretary, filing, answering phones, scheduling appointments, calling special order parts, and stuff like that. Eventually, after that, I started to lean over more into they asked my help for delivering parts and maybe writing up oil changes and quick things like that, calling customers. And I had a very good mentor. He was a military. He was a Marine. He was a gunnery sergeant.
Nice.
Gunnery sergeant Marine, and he was awesome. And he was just the best guy to have as a mentor. He was strict, but he was kind, and I was young. I was 22 back then, and raising my son by myself. And so him and his wife helped me out a lot. Anyways, short story, he ended up dying. He died of brain cancer at 40 something. But anyways, he was the one who gave me my shot and helping me learning, some of the automotive things. And then one day, I went to deliver a part because I did a lot of things. I drove, delivered parts. Like I said, I answered phones and filed and everything. And I ended up going to deliver a part to a body shop at a Chevy dealer. There was a guy there by the name of Ray, Crazy Ray. And he ran the body shop. And he said to me, "What do you do over there? What you deliver parts? What do you?" And I said, "Well, I do a little bit of everything." And I talked to him. I never really service wrote and really did it, 100%. Just wrote a repair order for somebody, and then they did what they had to do. But and he said, "Well, how would you like a job, with us here as a service advisor?" And I said, "Sure." It was closer to home, and I said, "Whatever." I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And then I got there and started to work with another gentleman by the name of Joe. I won't say his last name. And Joe eventually ended up, helping me and, of course, molding me and showing me a little bit more of writing and talking to people, because I really, wasn't really talking to people. I was just making tickets, and I wasn't selling like it was just, rookie stuff that I was doing.
Do you think going out delivering parts and talking to people helped you speak to people better?
Absolutely. And even making the appointments, that was a big part of it, because that's
Getting
the
on
first.
The phones.
That's the first thing. You're the first voice that someone hears. The first form of contact in the dealership. So
we'll get into that in a later episode.
Yeah. So Joe ended up getting fired somehow. I don't know what happened. Something crazy happened, and I ended up staying there at Chevy for a month by myself. I was a rookie. I didn't even know what I was doing.
You're writing service without a manager?
I was the only. I'm a girl, young, and I'm the only one at the service counter. Man, I cried every day. I went home, cried, but I said, I'm not gonna give up. I need this job. I gotta take care of my kid. What am I gonna do? I left Sabre Dodge. I'm closer to home. There's no way. I gotta make this work. So eventually, you learn, through your mistakes and so many things, and so many customers cuss me out. But eventually, it made me, the writer that I am today. But, little here, little there, Little Toyota, little Chevy.
Little Toyota, little Chevy, little Honda,
Little
Hyundai.
Hyundai. And here I am. Here I am, 23 years later.
23 years.
Still in the automotive business. And everywhere I go, I learn a little bit more. Every day is never it's always a learning process.
When did you realize you could make a good living in the business?
I think it was when I went to when was that, Wallingford.
Yeah.
At Wallingford Toyota was I made the most at Colonial, but when I went to Wallingford was really when I working under Gary was he was another sergeant type
Yeah.
individual and boss, who there it was where I was like, hey, this is something. I got something here, and I was good with people, and the fact that I'm bilingual, it's something that even now, I see myself a long time ago. Man, I could have like just killed it if I had a little bit more, experience and knowledge. But,
Of course.
you live and learn.
Yep.
I mean, I would have been killing it a long time ago. To have the ability to be bilingual is something big if you are in the industry, if you're looking to service right to whatever in the automotive business. To be bilingual in the United States of America is big.
Absolutely.
For all you Latinos out there,
it's only going to get bigger, which is good. Good. We need the help. We need technicians.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
When
and you, Mr. Fowler?
Me? Wow. I'm still a baby. Let's see. I started washing cars at a Toyota dealer under the table at 15 years old. It was actually for a family friend. My cousin was a technician at the Toyota dealer, opened his own shop, and I was actually at his shop since I was 8 years old. So I knew Toyotas. That's all he worked on. All I did was sweep the floor, go deliver parts next door and stuff like that. Deliver bottles and cans when I got in trouble. I'd have to go return those. And then I went to the Toyota dealer at 15 years old, washed cars, and then started helping on Saturday, I saw the need to help with all the waiters. Like, it was busy, small shop, 5 bays, cars backed up. Back then, there was no express. I was like, we'll use his name. His name's Dick. Dick, do you need help with oil changes? He's like, you know how to change oil? I'm like, yes, I know how to change oil. So I went, I changed oil, I did proper multi-points, I looked the cars over, because that's how I was taught.
Wow.
And I was 16 years old. And the Monday morning I came in, and I was back then a C-Tech. Started off as a C-Tech, worked my way up, became a master diagnostic specialist for Toyota before the age of 20. And seeing how he treated people changed my mindset that I wanted to be a manager. So I would come in on my off day for free, learn how to write service. So I would work 6 days a week every day. My off Saturday, I would go in, I would write service for free. On the next Saturday, I'd come in and be a tech. Following Saturday, come in, be a rider. So that flip-flopped.
Just to learn the in and outs, right?
Yeah, like now people want to make money the minute they walk into a place.
Exactly. It's humble beginnings. You have to start from humble beginnings. It's a long road.
It's a long road.
It's a long road.
And then you got these Panera Breads and these Amazons that want to pay $15 an hour. You cannot.
I know, it's crazy.
You can't pay that in the auto car industry.
It's crazy.
But you put your time in.
Exactly. I remember hearing somebody, I forgot who it was, it said, I was listening to somebody, and they said, about the jumping around, so much time wasted. You got to find somewhere and get rooted and grounded and create relationships and make what you have. Longevity speaks a lot, in places.
I ruined career jumping around.
Yeah.
I made a lot of money as a technician. Listen, guys, you can make money.
Absolutely.
I made over $100,000 a year as a technician.
Absolutely.
I set goals. I came in the morning. I wanted 20 hours. I did not go home until I had 20 hours. You're my wife. There's days I wouldn't come home until 11 o'clock at night. I wanted 20 hours.
Very true.
I say, so I met my wife at a Toyota
Oh
dealer.
yes, that's a story.
So I blocked her pathway with my monstrous toolbox. So she was mad at me in the beginning. So I met her there. You know, I was kind of love at first sight. This beautiful Spanish girl. And so when we started dating, a few months after that, that was when my mindset changed. That this is it. I have to make a career. When Felicity came into my life, your children came into my life, is when yes, Air Force. When I met you and took over the fathership of your children is when I realized I had to put my head down, get the bull crap out of my life, and produce.
Yes, I made him grow up really quick.
I had no choice. I had no choice. I was 24, 25.
That's right.
I got two kids now.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah, yeah.
14, 15, 16 years.
16 years.
14 married.
So God be the glory.
Yes. I moved into management.
Yes.
We're starting a consulting business for fixed operations. We want to help people. We want to show you how you can get into this business. We want to teach you and groom people on how to succeed. We made the mistakes, so learn from our mistakes.
So many mistakes. And still, you know, we're not perfect. We're still going to make mistakes, of course. But talking about, you know, porters and drivers and cashiers and, you know, the service advisors and the technicians and service managers, and there's so many angles to the automotive business.
The inner workings too.
And there's so many angles to you know, move up in those areas and move up from, you know, like me, I came from you know, being just a service secretary, you know, service secretary porter, if you wanna call it, and eventually, you know, I put myself out there. I was willing to do things. I don't know, nowadays a lot of younger people are not as
driven, I guess.
Driven or confident. I don't know what it is, but a lot of young people, even in the automotive business, when they come in, you know, with a chip on their shoulder, and you know, nobody wants anybody to tell them what to do and stuff like that. But you have to learn. I mean, people have been in places for, you know, 10, 20, 30 years, but they're there for a reason. You know, they're there because the business is still open because of those people that are there. Whether they're doing it right or wrong, they're there, you know, and business is still being operated. So, and eventually, you know, everybody around you becomes a family, especially if, like I said, if you stay in one area. In one place, I should say, of work. And of course, there's times in our lives where you know, we feel we're taking advantage of, and nobody appreciates our hard work and stuff like that. But and then that's really what tends to move us to go other places, you know, and to say, you know what, I'm done here. I'm going somewhere else. You know, I'm not.
You start rebelling against the place because your mindset is not in the right place.
Exactly.
Oh, well, he didn't give me a 60K.
Exactly.
This guy didn't give me this job, and he's feeding this guy. When you're not doing your proper multi-point, you're not looking the vehicle over. The service rider isn't greeting the customer when they walk in. The cashier and the BDC isn't answering the phone properly. Like, it's a whole thing. Your attitude is gonna roll down to everybody else in the store.
Definitely that. Morale is big out in the shop, especially in these big dealerships. You know, where you have, you know, 20, 30 techs. I worked in several places like that, and the places that I've worked there were the biggest ones that I've worked for were the ones that I worked for the longest. And people like that, you know, in big dealerships, you know, they get lost in the sauce, right?
Yeah.
And then they don't stand out, and in those places where you have to take advantage of, you know, because it's if there's a large place, that means there's room to grow, there's room to go up in wherever, you know, position you are.
Yeah, guys, they're gonna look from within. They're gonna want to hire within.
Exactly.
They're gonna want to move a porter who's good with people. They're gonna want to move a technician who's good with people.
A good boss will, a good a business sense person will. You know, you already know the person, you already know their character, you already know what you're working with, you know, And good bosses will see, potential in you. You know, you got to put yourself out there.
My mindset is to grow within. I want to take a lube tech and I want to make him a master tech. But that kid has to have his mind made up too that this is the industry he wants to stay in. There's temptation to go somewhere else and make okay money, but long term, you're going to be stuck at the money you went in there at. You can write your paycheck in this business.
Yeah, that's true. You can. You definitely can.
A commissioned employee is a business owner.
Yes, absolutely. Even the tech has
He's
his
flat
bay.
rate.
His bay is his shop.
The faster you will figure out that this is your own business and run it as your own business is when you start making the most money.
Yeah, and relationships are big too in the dealership. You know, you can't be beefing with everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't be beefing and on everybody's crap list. You know, you can't do that. Like, you can't be in odds with the cashier because she's the one who's cashing out your customer. You know, in the long run, you're not always going to be there to cash out your customer. You can't be at odds with the dispatcher because he's the one who's dispatching your work. And you definitely can't be at odds with the technician because he's the one who's telling you what needs to be done. I mean, you have to be a game player. You know, you have to be. It's like a
team.
A team. Exactly. It's like a football game. You know, you got. My boss like to say he doesn't like to be what does he say? The armrest quarterback.
Armchair quarterback.
Armchair quarterback. That's what he says. Yeah.
Well,
but in most cases, he has to.
Yeah.
You know?
You got offense, defense, special teams. It's all three phases.
Exactly. And parts. You know, you can't forget about the parts department.
That's what I was going to say.
You know, that part guy might want to make that extra phone call to whatever store, you know, where we can get that aftermarket part cheaper, or that aftermarket part that we can't get for 2 days. You know, he might be able to call around. You know, you give somebody an attitude and a hard time. All these people don't know what they're doing. Guess what? He's not going to go the extra mile for you.
My parts departments have 3 steps. Do we have it? Does another dealer have it? And can I get it aftermarket? The car has to get off the bay. When an average technician produces $12,000 of gross profit a month, get the car off the bay.
Yeah. Wow. Well,
yeah,
like they say at church. Well,
yes. And let's just say God is a big part of all of this.
Oh, absolutely. No, number one. If you know what's so funny, honey, that like our success really, and I really didn't want to make this about God, but everything in our life, right? Is about God. But we became so much successful in what we do when we got saved.
Yes, absolutely.
When we got saved, because there's something about when the Holy Spirit dwells in you that changes your mind, changes your attitude, changes the way you look at people. Oh my God, because I was not a very friendly person back in the day.
I was scared of her.
Listen to me. I would tell the customer to get up away out of my desk and go to the next person, because we're not, I was really rude to people. Back and that's probably why I was so stuck and not so successful. But anyway, when I met the man Christ, he gives you a different perspective, and he gives you, you put yourself in that customer's shoes. You put yourself in that person on the phone's shoes, and you're like, man, if this was me,
you want to help them more.
Yeah, exactly. You want to help them more, and that's my prayer every day as I drive down to work. I always pray and I say, God, help me help someone today. Help them see the Christ that lives in me. Help you be glorified in everything that I do today. And most days, it's a success. I do what I have to do, and I don't have to beat somebody up.
Fighting in the service drive. I heard a story that, I don't want to name names, a dealership in Staten Island, that there was a fight in the service drive because the line wrapped around the street. Nobody came in to work on time. The porters were pulling the cars in, and somebody cut the line. So the first person in line started fighting with the guy that cut the line. Let's just say that store is dead last in CSI.
Yeah, those things happen. But yeah, ever since we've dedicated our lives to serving the Lord, and we're most of our time is spent is either at work or in the house of God.
Or in the Word.
Yeah, or in the Word of God, exactly. Because it's what shaped us into who we were. I'm telling you, if we would have been saved a long time ago, yes, God knows where we would be. We are trying to do our own things right now, but man, if we found Christ a little bit sooner. Well, I think we would have been there, done that, and been sitting on the beach drinking pina coladas, right? Virgin pina coladas.
With my bar, Dos Gringos. So two things. So when I first got baptized in 2009, I started a Lexus job, which I'm a Lexus guy, Toyota guy to the grave. I love the brand. I love Lexus. I love the philosophy of Lexus. I was so high up at Lexus, I sat on a diagnostic council. I wrote product reports. Anyway, they said to me, "Why do you smile so much?" And I'm like, "Well, if you had Christ in your life, you would smile too." And then from that day on, like life got so much better. I wasn't a people person. Even as a technician, I was the meanest SOB in the shop.
And he was shy too.
I was shy. I didn't talk to people. And then, so think of everything that had to lay out to me to become where I am now. How do you manage people or write service when you don't want to talk to people?
Exactly.
So 2009 is when I went to the Lexus store and became very successful in the technician side, and that groomed me. Again, I did stuff for free. I learned the parts side. I learned how to read a financial statement. I learned how to set up the loaners on TSD, and I learned all these other things for free because I wanted to learn. I want to learn this stuff. Who else is going to teach you? There's not a school I can go to. Yeah, I can go to NADA dealer school, but you have to be sponsored and spend all this money.
Yeah, so much so.
So I just invest in myself and try to do what I can to learn. And that's another reason we wanted to do the podcast, is because we want to help people.
Yes, exactly. And talk about things, not only about the automotive, we want to talk about things that happen in our lives daily, funny things that may happen at his dealer or my dealer, where we work,
or in the traffic,
or things that happen in our children's lives, But anyways, our whole goal in this podcast is to just like he said, help those that are coming up in the automotive business. There's people that even right now that I work with that are looking to wanting to service right, and I can see myself in some of them, the eagerness, and I can see that they can make it, they will make it. I speak that into their lives that they will make it, whether it's in this industry or not. But yeah, so it's more of our daily lives in the automotive industry and situations that happen in our, like I said, in our daily lives, but also, anybody that wants to call in, or anybody that has
leave
questions.
a review. Yeah, if you leave a review, if you write a comment in the review that you want us to talk about a topic, anything you want, just write it in the reviews. We're going to read the reviews.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about those topics as well. But this is for anyone: parts, cashiers, service porters, advisors, technicians. If you want to know how to do the proper multi-point and speak to your advisor with respect, your advisor's your friend. You need your parts department. You need your service advisor.
We need each other.
We need each other to make this cookie crumble.
That's Barney. Can I say that?
Sure.
That's Barney.
You say whatever you want. It's
I
ours.
need you. You need me.
Yes.
You're perfect.
All right. So that was episode 1. If you guys want to leave a review and a comment, something that you would like us to talk about, you want to hear about, whatever it is, let us know. We will talk about it. And again, our children, we have a son in the business too. So this is our life. We met in the business. Our children's in the business. The other child is in the Air Force in the business. It's a family affair. You got anything you want to close with?
I don't know what else to say.
Okay. Well, we'll wait for a review, and then on the next time, we'll just hit topics. Again, leave a review, like it, share it, and until next time, thanks everyone.